Hey everyone, I'm Rob and welcome to the test drive. Today, I'm driving the 2018 Infiniti QX80. So the QX80 is Infiniti's largest SUV, and it's actually the only vehicle that Infiniti actually considers to be an SUV. All of the other SUVs are actually crossovers, at least in the way that they categorize them. So this is the largest SUV, largest vehicle in the Infiniti lineup, and it shares a lot of components with the Nissan Armada being built on the same platform, but this is definitely a completely different vehicle. I have actually tested the 2018 Armada. I have that review on my channel as well, so feel free to check that one out too. But today I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about the 2018 QX80. So we're going to start with the exterior of the 2018 QX80. Now this has been redesigned, or it's really more of a facelift, but this is a different looking QX80 from the 2017 model, especially if you look at the front. I always liked the way that the QX80 looked in the front, but you had the headlights very low and it was very unique. But I have to say that I really like what they did in the 2018 model. I actually think it looks a lot better. And again, the 2017 looked good, but this looks even better. This SUV has such an aggressive front end, but it also looks very elegant. It really looks nice. I love the look of the headlights. I love the daytime running lights as well as the turning indicators. It looks so good. Love that design. I love the chrome grille as well. Very large grille in the front. Moving around to the side, it has very much the same side profile as the 2017 model. It's a very boxy look, and I really do like that. You have some very nice looking rims. These are the standard rims, and you do have some higher end options as well that you can upgrade to, some larger rims. And I really like the look of the rear of this SUV as well, especially again when it comes to the turning indicators. I love that they are actually in the bumper. It's just kind of a unique look. That's something that you've kind of seen before in G-Wagons and some other higher end SUVs, so I really like those really low turning indicators. Overall, this is just a very good looking, very aggressive SUV. I really love the design. I think Infiniti, Nissan through the Infiniti brand really killed it with the design here. Now when you get to the interior, it's again very nice. Now if you've been in a 2018 Armada, you will see quite a few similarities. The center stack is basically exactly the same, although the Infiniti version does have this very nice clock here that I really like. The steering wheel in the QX80 is much nicer than the steering wheel in the Armada, at least in the base model Armada that I drove. I love the wood grain around the wheel as well as the soft leather. Feels really nice. All the surfaces in here are very soft. You can tell that the quality of the interior here is very good. The leather is very soft as well. You have a lot of room. You have a lot of room for the driver and front passenger. The second row has a ton of room as well. This does come standard with captain seats, although you can get a bench as an option for only $250, but I really like the captain seats. I think it's nicer, and especially because the third row gives you 3 seats, you have a 7-passenger SUV already. And as you might imagine, in an SUV this size, the second row has a ton of room. I'm 6 feet tall. I was able to sit behind myself with no problem. I had so much more room than I needed. And the third row really isn't bad. It's a little bit cramped maybe for adults, at least for maybe somebody my size, but it's nice that you do have 3 seats back there, and it's a decent amount of room. I mean, I sat back there and it was decently comfortable. I mean, my knees did kind of touch the seat in front of me, but again, it really wasn't bad. I wish that the QX80 came with a black headliner. It doesn't. You get this light headliner instead. And I also wish that there were some additional moonroof options. You do get this standard small moonroof here. There isn't like a panoramic moonroof option. You don't have dual moonroof options. I mean, I really would have liked to see something like that, but the QX80 does not seem to offer that. Now, getting to the performance of the 2018 Infiniti QX80, there's one engine option available in this SUV. That is a 5.6 liter naturally aspirated V8. It puts out 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. And I love that this thing has a big V8. That is a lot of power as well. And this thing sounds really good. I absolutely love the sound, and that's the reason that I love a naturally aspirated V8 in a large SUV like this. I've driven the Expedition, and you know, I know the Navigator as well. They have twin turbocharged V6s, and those put out a lot of power as well, especially from the torque standpoint, and it's fine, and those engines sound good as well. But there's just something about the low grunt and growl of a big naturally aspirated V8 that, at least for me, I really like. Now, the fuel economy, unfortunately, is not that great. The rear-wheel drive version of the QX80 gets 14 miles per gallon in the city, 20 on the highway. If you get the four-wheel drive version that I'm driving, that drops down to 13 in the city and 19 on the highway. So really not very good, but it's not horrible. I mean, I was able to get around 20 miles per gallon, so 1 mile per gallon better than the EPA rating on a long trip in this thing. And at the end of the day, it's a large SUV, it's a big V8, it's not gonna get that great a fuel economy anyways. So at the end of the day, it's really not that bad. This engine is also paired to a 7-speed automatic transmission, and I really like the fact that this is not a CVT, especially with a big V8. The CVT, I think that Nissan and Infiniti use in so many vehicles, just really wouldn't have worked with this powertrain. And then you do have a manual mode as well. The shifts, as you might imagine, are not insanely quick, but it's fine. It's nice to have the functionality. But that said, this thing is pretty quick. I mean, this thing freaking hauls ass. It really does. And it sounds awesome. And it also handles pretty well for being such a large vehicle. You can corner with this thing, and you have a lot of confidence. You can definitely drive this spiritedly. I mean, it might look kind of weird because you're in such a large vehicle, but you definitely do have the ability to drive like that. Now, getting to the technology in the 2018 QX80, I'm impressed with what comes standard in this large SUV. I'm happy that you do get navigation. There's some Infiniti SUVs that for whatever reason do not come standard with navigation. I drove the QX60 and it didn't, so I'm happy to see that. You do have this nice large infotainment screen, and it's a pretty nice system. I also love all the different cameras that come standard. You do have a pretty nice backup camera standard, but then you also have a front camera, and then you have like a blind spot right rear tire camera, which is also really nice too, and it just kind of helps with parking. I also love the fact that when you put this in reverse, both side view mirrors actually turn downward toward the wheels. This is something that BMW has been doing for a very long time in their vehicles, except they do it with the right side view mirror only, or at least for the longest time, that's the way they've done it. And then I noticed recently, I drove the Cadillac XT5, obviously not a competitor to this vehicle, but that one also had it where the mirrors turn down automatically. It's just a nice thing, and especially in a luxury vehicle and in a vehicle this size that may be a little bit more difficult to maneuver in tight spaces, it's just nice to have that additional functionality. There's also a lot of safety functionality that you can get in the QX80. The one that I'm driving doesn't have blind spot monitoring or forward collision or anything like that, but you can get it. It's not terribly expensive. Now, when you are pulling up to something, it will automatically start beeping if you're getting close to something, like in a parking lot, for example. There might be some people that would expect a $70,000 SUV to come standard with that, but at the end of the day, if you look at what this competes against, I think this SUV really is priced very well. If you look at the Mercedes GLS, for example, I just think that you get a lot for the money in the QX80 in comparison. So I hope you enjoyed this review of the 2018 Infiniti QX80. I'm Rob. this is the test drive. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the video and this SUV and what this competes against. And please subscribe to my channel if you'd like. It does help me make more videos, and it also makes you eligible for the giveaways that we have going on the channel, which we pretty much always have a giveaway going on. Right now, at the time that I'm filming this, we have an Akaso EK7000 action camera giveaway. See the description below for more information on that, as well as looking at the most recent videos where you'll see what the current giveaway is. So again, thanks for taking this test drive with me, and I'll talk to you soon.